offense. He was giving them the business. Right there. Hold on!
This is the 5 Arms and a Lucky Fin podcast.
Ooh, welcome to the 5 Arms and a Lucky Fin podcast. I am your host, Brendan McCormick, with my co-host on the other side, David Soloway, aka Big Diesel. He is for the people. The people are for him. Welcome in on the Hoosier Homer Hour, where we talk all things Indiana athletics. First and foremost, David, we talk about IU football visiting the White House. What an experience for Kirk Cignetti's squad, going 16-0, David. Our Indiana Hoosiers and national champs. What a visit for them. Saw the reels and the highlights, but what was your takeaway from the visit on the White House?
Not to get political here, but I'm glad they went.
Yeah.
I think one of the great things about winning a title in America is that you get celebrated not only when you win the championship, but that we have this tradition of going to the White House.
Yes.
I think it's important to uphold that tradition, no matter who's in office, whether you you agree with them or not.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a special way to be celebrated, and I'm glad they did it, and that a lot of the guys were able to make it. I know Fernando wasn't because of rookie minicamp, but
right.
You know, you had some big names there, including Jamari Sharp. Got to make a little speech on the White House lawn.
Yeah.
He sealed the national championship. He gets to have that forever too. I think that's just incredible. Awesome to have that memory.
Yeah, I think you touched on everything that I wanted to say. I think it's awesome for the team, regardless of whoever's in office. I feel like as a country, politics can really divide us as a nation. And I think regardless of our views, we should have respect for one another. Even if it's insane either way, we should respect individuals. So I think that it was awesome that they did go. But I think at the end of the day, that's the issue of politics. Why I'm not a huge politics guy. So that we all just disagree and yell at each other. But I think to have the common goal to win a championship and show up of whoever's in office speaks a lot to the team and where we're at as a program. So it was cool to watch.
Tough for Micah McFadden to have his number 47 jersey overwritten with a Trump label. Just erasure of the Micah McFadden era.
I was thinking that because I was like, the dude was very good football player. Just bad timing.
Yeah, I mean, no one's really been 47 since him, and
No.
Now Trump gets a 47 jersey. So
yeah, I think McFadden would rather have, a natty than,
Yeah, it's just too bad he wasn't here for the natty.
I know.
Ref show in the Cincinnati game.
That team will always be special to us, though. Those Micah McFadden years.
You know what? I have a branch off of that I don't think we have on our rundown.
No, probably not.
2022, Brendan Sorsby says that he was betting on the boys because he wanted
to feel more connected.
More connection with his team while he wasn't playing. Right. How relatable is that? Dude, I was betting on these guys every game because I wanted to have a connection with them. And every game they let me down. I think it's the most relatable story in sports history.
You were smart, though. You took the points. Sorsby did not take the points.
We were 3-9 against the spread and 3-9 overall. So it didn't really matter.
I just remember you always taking them. And I go, oh, Lord, here we go again.
I bet us to win the Natty that year.
You did.
And the year after. And then Sig gets here, and I haven't bet it once.
I texted you last year, and I said, maybe I should just throw $20 on them winning it all. Should have.
Yeah, if there's one thing you could say about me, it's that I had way too much confidence in Tom Allen, and I am okay with that being the one thing you can say about me. I'm okay going down with the ship on that one, and it all ended up okay, anyways.
I wouldn't say you were skeptical of the Cignetti hire. You were just wondering who he was.
Oh no, I would say I was skeptical. I think well, it was just so out of the box, and we were going through Woody not really working out, which was also out of the box,
Yeah.
and an old coach.
Right.
That it was like this could be a dumpster fire, and Dolson could not have a job in 2 years. And it turns into we're the greatest story in sports history. So it all worked out. But yeah, of course I was skeptical. I think the hiring model at a school like Indiana before this was to hire an up and coming coach.
Yeah.
A la Kevin Wilson. Kevin Wilson was the offensive coordinator at Oklahoma. We bring him in from there. I think that's kind of, you saw a lot of schools do it this year. Like think about Oregon's coordinators both got jobs.
True.
For the lower level Power 5 schools, that was the hiring model. We said, screw that. We're hiring this 62-year-old dude, and he's going to win us a natty. And I love it.
In his second year, David, just absolutely incredible.
We've lost one game since that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty.
I'm getting the chills.
That's
it's almost football season.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah. No, obviously pumped, David. Obviously pumped for the upcoming season. I got a hot take for you. Opposing coaches doubting IU again in 2026 is the exact same mistakes made in 2025. Do you agree?
Are they doubting them?
I think so.
I think we're going to have fewer doubters this year because I think we have proven to have a sustainable model. Whereas I think going from 24 into last year, 25, it was like, oh, this was just a fluke. They just had a really soft schedule. It was a fluke. They're not going to be that good. And then, bam, 16-0.
But people are commenting on our schedule again, saying how soft it is. But I think it's harder this schedule? Year. Yeah. I think it's harder this year than
I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing. People have a problem with our non-conference schedule. And because of that, they're always going to say this schedule is a joke. Well, tough shit. There has been no value placed on playing hard non-conference games by the committee to this point.
None. In fact, I think Ohio State and Texas playing each other, what is it, week 1 is the silliest thing.
Week 2 this year.
Week 2 this year. It was week 1 last year, but still, I think it's the silliest thing ever to play each other when they're both playoff teams this year.
I agree.
It doesn't help.
And of course, it was scheduled 12 years ago because that's how college football scheduled.
And name me another SEC school that isn't playing a top 25 team pre-conference play out of the SEC.
LSU.
Okay, they are playing Clemson.
They play Clemson again.
Is that the only other team, though? It's got to be.
I mean, I don't know every schedule, obviously.
Right. I mean, obviously.
Is Oklahoma playing Michigan again? They played last year.
While you're looking that up, I got more to say. Well, SIG was just adopting the SEC scheduling is what I really wanted to say, to clap back at SEC.
That's right. They do play. Oklahoma plays Michigan this year. So everything you said is wrong.
Correct. Yeah, it's very wrong, in fact. Well, I just, I like Sig and what he said. So about SEC scheduling, I think, it's very.
Yeah, no, he bullied them into having 9 conference games.
I think he did.
He absolutely did. They got rid of the BS week 13 game against an FCS school. Those don't really exist anymore. So I think that's better for college football.
I'm with you. Sports Illustrated, though, also dropped a piece on the 5 major droughts IU football could end in 2026, David. And having the first ever preseason AP top 10, David. That's huge. That's huge for the program.
Yeah, I don't like the way this article was worded because
Okay. Is it shade? You think it's some shade?
well, like major droughts that they can end. We're going to be top 10. That's not really a can. We're going to be top 10, right?
Yeah. I wish we were more under the radar, but yeah, we are not under the radar.
Same. But it would be crazy if we weren't top 10. So
yeah.
But yeah, the other ones in there, like beat Ohio State, Michigan in the same year. Like, yeah, we overcame a lot last year. We beat Ohio State.
Slayed Goliath finally
in the Big Ten championship game, but
1988. Yep.
There's still a lot we still have a lot to play for. A lot of things that we can still. It's crazy. We won a natty before we broke all these droughts.
Yeah,
it's like we got to the party too early.
Well, no, we're just getting started here in the Sig era. We're just getting started stacking, natties left and right. Hopefully,
I hope so.
But we've never had 3 back-to-back winning seasons in the Big Ten, David.
Well, we have
World War II.
Yeah,
World War II. I mean, if you want to count our lifetime,
80 years.
Yeah,
crazy.
It's actually.
I'm pretty confident we're gonna have a winning season in the Big Ten this year.
Yeah, I think
that means our record would be 8-4 at a minimum. I hope we win 8 games.
I know what you're gonna say to this question, but I gotta ask it, David. Can Indiana repeat as national champions, or is the target too big for Indiana this year? Last year we flew under the radar for a long time. I think that was a great angle that allowed us to kind of stay focused, in my opinion. We didn't have a lot of media spotlight.
Agree and disagree.
I know where you're going.
I think coming into the season, I would agree that we were under the radar. Again, people thought that our season prior was a fluke. But when you beat Illinois by 50 at home, and then you go
they were still
Iowa, I don't know. People after the Illinois win, there were two different people, 2 different types of people after that game. There were the people that said Illinois was overrated. This just goes to show that Illinois never should have been a top 10 team. Great, if that's the angle you want to take. There was another school of thought that was, Indiana is legit this year. This is a real team. This is a contender. And I guess those people turned out to be right. And then after that, we played at Iowa, at Oregon. We won both of those games. And at that point, we were legit. So I don't think we flew under the radar the second half of the season. And we continued just dominating teams.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about the whole flying under the radar. There was a target on our back. We were number 1 going into the playoff.
Yeah.
We blew out Bama, we blew out Oregon, and we handled business. A road game in Miami. People still aren't talking about that enough. It was only a 6-point win. It was a road game. I think I'm not worried about the whole target on our back thing.
Okay. I'm not either. I think obviously I would love to win it all, but if I'm being absolutely realistic with myself in what we could end up in our result, if I'm being an analyst, I guess we'll say, I think we'd make it to the semis. Sure. I would love to win it all. I would love to be wrong.
I would love that. The only thing I will say is it is very hard to repeat in all sports.
Yes. But we have
not only repeat as national champions, but to just repeat success in general.
Yeah.
And I think that's something Sig's great at is not letting players get too complacent, get ahead of themselves. But it's still hard.
It is very hard. And you think after the national championship, recruiting would start flowing, and Mason McDermott actually just committed 4-star offensive lineman.
Big dog.
That was a big get for us. And then even bigger potentially is us getting Sales, the number 1 wide receiver out of the 2027 class from Indianapolis.
We also got that kid from Brownsburg.
Correct. The wide receiver.
Sharp, right? Is that his name? No.
You had you had sent it to me. Give me 1 second.
Oh,
on that.
no. What's that kid's name?
We are terrible with names, folks. So please bear with us. Please do
Brandon
not.
Sharp nailed it.
Yes, you were right.
Speedy kid out of Brownsburg had a
Yeah.
kickoff return in the state title game. I remember from this past year.
Yep.
Love to see guys staying home because
Yes.
that's not something we're used to.
No, I was about to say that's definitely not something we're used to. So we get sales, David. I will. Ooh, that could be huge. That could
We're
be.
still in the running for Brewster too, right?
I know. Yeah, I believe so. So
Isn't he graduating high school?
yeah, I want to say
he might want to make a decision.
Yeah, probably. That's probably a good thing, right?
No, he's class of 2027.
Okay. Yeah. Too many things to remember all in one without
for sure.
without
Especially with football recruiting, it's so hard to stay up to date.
I know.
Dudes commit and it means literally nothing in football. It's crazy.
It is.
Like we've already had 2 guys decommit, 2 4-stars decommit that committed the day after the Oregon game.
Yep. It's wild times. I mean, Sig.
If they don't want to jump,
that's what I'm like. Yeah,
the Hoosier train.
It's kind of you probably
right.
weren't. Yeah.
See you later. You weren't cut out for this.
And I do want to talk about that real quick. I do think that is what makes Sig, Haynes, and Shanahan so great. The 3-headed monsters, I call them, is they have this swagger. They're like, okay, like if that's what you want to do, we're moving on. Like, no harm, no foul. They don't like, but I think it just motivates them to keep on winning in a weird way, if that makes sense.
No, I agree. I think that they
don't take it personal. I don't think
they probably just see it as like, okay, that like you probably want a great fit anyway, and we're just gonna do our thing. We're gonna keep winning, and on we go.
Yeah,
which is a great attitude to have because I'm sure it's hard as a college coach.
Yeah.
To deal with losing someone who you thought was going to be a big impact guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I would have meltdowns over that if I were a college coach. I'm not cut out for that at all.
No, I'm with you. Let's talk about Darian DeVries real quick. Indiana basketball locking up commits. Chase Branham gets talked about in a future write-up. Described as a driven by internal passion, not hype, David. I think Chase he was a 4-star commit out of, I believe, Missouri. So excited for him getting all the notoriety that he deserves. Besides, obviously, the big transfers, who's your high school commits that you're most excited about?
You know who I'm most excited about? And I think you are too. Yeah.
I got Prince.
I think Prince Alexander Moody is going to be legit. We got in on him before he really rose up in the high school ranks. And I think he's going to be a big addition for this team.
No, I agree with you. And he's just got I don't know if you follow him on X, but he's always talking 100%. About the Hoosiers, the football team, like loves.
He seems bought in for sure.
And he's a kid, right? And he's getting talked to by all these different colleges, I'm sure, with NIL money and things like that. And to have that type of attitude just speaks volumes of what I believe this coaching staff is building, just off of his excitement and his passion for Indiana.
Yep.
It gets me excited for what other potential recruits we could find. And then the one guy we wanted to stayed. So off of last year. So it's just a lot of Indiana kid through and through. So it's really exciting. And the way he's scheduling opponents to David DeVries is he's really not trying to hide from anybody. He's trying to build a tougher non-con schedule. And I respect that 100%. So.
Did you see the news about this diamond tournament event that the Blue Bloods of college basketball are trying to coordinate for next year?
A little bit. I've heard of it, but I
didn't really read any stories about it. I just kind of saw the headlines and some tweets about it, but
Yeah.
I would love to get the Blue Bloods together and
I
make
would
something
too.
happen. Be
Yeah,
awesome.
I think it'd be great for the game.
I did see it. It would be a 3 games guaranteed for every team, 1 exhibition, 2 real games. That's kind of strange to me, but
Do you think DeVries is building one of the best rosters that we've seen in Indiana basketball in a long time?
we can't. We're not doing this.
No? I want to go
Dude,
there.
every year,
I know.
we talk ourselves into the roster, and then we put them on the court, and they can't play basketball.
I know. But if we're looking strictly at the roster, and I know
If we're looking at the transfer portal era, I think this is probably the best one on paper heading into a season.
Yes, I agree.
We'll see, though.
What do you think? Who do you think is gonna, like, I guess, hide under the radar for this team and show how important they are?
I think the number one under the radar guy for this team right now,
Okay.
because his stats last year were not flashy, is Darren Harris from Duke.
Okay. That's actually not what I was going to expect.
He barely played because Duke is loaded with talent. We saw their roster last year. We saw it the year before. He was there. He was there for the past 2 years. So he averaged, it was something like 3 points, 1 assist, 1 board, something like that per game. But he was a top 40 recruit. He got to play against those guys in practice every day at Duke, which I think is important for your development.
Yeah.
And he comes here with a fresh start and an opportunity to play. He might not be a starter, but he could be a great sixth man off the bench. I think he's going to be really key in the guard rotation we have.
I agree.
The other one would be like Bryce Lindsey from Villanova.
Yeah.
He was at A&M, then JMU, then
he's kind of
Nova.
bounced around
a lot, but he's a really good shooter.
Yeah.
He'll most likely be off the bench, I would guess. And if you can have a spark from one of those 2 guys off the bench, I think that's huge for this roster going somewhere. Because we already know, like, the big names.
Yeah.
The big name being Burton.
Right.
And Cheryl, obviously, in the front court.
I think
we know they're going to be good, right?
I'm really excited for them.
Yeah,
really
I agree. We need those role players, because that's been the problem in the past, really, is we've had good, like, lead guys.
Yeah.
But we didn't have the role players to fill in around them.
No, we didn't.
I want your opinion on this Justin Mondin guy from Maryland Eastern Shore, because he had
a great take on this.
He had the fan base up in arms about him committing.
I got a great point on this. And I'm going to go back to how Indiana fans are. Me and you both know how they are. We love them. We love Indiana fans and how passionate they are about their team, and they want the best of the best. And they think every signee just needs to be this top talent. And, we can get every 5-star possible and get these people out of the portal. We're in a different era than that. We're in a NIL money era. And I'm going to go ask this question back to you. I'd ask it to other Indiana fans. Who do you want to bring in that era? Do you want a guy that's money hungry, that's going to be super selfish and create a toxic locker room? Or do you want a guy that's open to not playing at all? He knows that. He knows he's not going to get any playing time, but can be a great practice player, build each other up, create a better locker room, be more connected with the guys, and get that Big Ten experience that he wants. And I know that's why he's transferring there. So it's all positives. Now, if this guy isn't a locker room guy and it's just if he's not a locker room guy, I'm not sure why DeVries would have went after him, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know that it's even like he's this leader locker room guy. I think it's exactly what you said. It's the era of basketball, college basketball, college sports we're in. Is in the old days, the days that were not NIL, not transfer portal,
Yeah.
you built a roster and you tried to have like 3 guys at every grade level, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, whatever.
Yeah.
And so your seniors played and your freshmen probably didn't unless they were a 5-star. And then your freshmen got better over the summer and they played their sophomore year. You hope they make more impact their junior year. And then by their senior year, they should be your star player. That's how it used to be.
Yeah.
Now it's harder to get a freshman to, if we wanted to fill this spot with a freshman that we thought would make an impact in a few years, no freshman would have signed up for that, because a freshman who's now ranked 100th, let's say, in their class is going to go to a smaller school. They're going to ball out and they're going to get a payday when they enter into the transfer portal the next year.
Yep.
So if you want to fill out a roster, you have to fill it out with guys like this. It's just the nature of the business at this point. And
yeah,
he's not going to make an impact on the team, good or bad. He's not going to play. He's going to play in the exhibition games and the blowouts against the Cupcakes.
Yeah.
And it's not going to matter. If we do end up with enough injuries to where this guy ends up playing, then it was a season from hell anyway. So who gives a shit?
Great take.
I just saw people were mad. It's like I'm sure we had a budget. We've probably already met that budget because we got some huge names. And you got, at this point, if you're trying to fill out a roster, you have to take a guy who knows what his role is. And just like you were saying, his role is to not play.
Yeah, he knows.
He knows he's not playing.
Yeah. It was a little out of left field.
Oh, 100%. Because I didn't even know people were still committing.
That's why I was like, I said to you, I go, who is this guy?
Right.
And you go, I do not know. I was like, no one knows. And he almost like among like Indiana sports talk, because we all followed on X, it was like widely like almost viral among IU like talk.
It 100% was. I'm looking at a tweet right now. This Matthew Winnett guy. He's not an IU guy, but he's a college basketball analyst for Basket Review. And his tweet said, out of 2,920 qualified players, Justin Mondin finished 2,890th in RAPM and WARP percentage. No clue what those mean.
No.
That says he was one of the 50 worst rotation players in D1 last year. And that got 250,000 views. Who cares? Who cares? Yeah. This guy's not coming here to play basketball. He's coming here to practice with the boys, hang out in the locker room.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just, it went viral for all the wrong reasons. And
I agree.
Whatever.
Well, basketball team will be fine. He won't play. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's a great locker room guy. Builds us up, makes us better. Creates a better environment. Positive. Hopeful for IU basketball. I'll say that. I'm not going to get too ahead and say.
I agree.
Just make the tournament. That's where I'm at as a fan. Just make the tournament. That's all I care about. Just make the tournament. Beat Purdue as well in the process, but
that's right.
It's really all I care about. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Listening, watching.
What about Will Wade?
What?
Can we hit on Will Wade really fast?
We will touch on Will Wade real fast. Let's do it.
We can do it really fast, and I know we need to wrap this up.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on what Will Wade is doing?
I'm going to go in real quick in 30 seconds. I love Will Wade. He made some reason LSU basketball really fun to watch. Went to NC State, didn't love that move. Kind of threw my guy Darian Williams under the bus in the process. Didn't like that. And now he's signing all European players. He's terrible for college basketball. It's a joke. He's a clown. And I really think things need to change. People are saying hate the game, not the player. And I'm like, well, the player needs to learn how to respect the game. So that's where I'm at.
Totally agree. I think part of being a college basketball, football, whatever sport coach is having the best interest of the game in mind.
Correct.
I understand wanting to win. Winning is what gets you to keep your job. You can make more money. I also don't think this is probably his best path to winning, because these are just a bunch of old dudes who it's like they're not NBA caliber talent, which the rest of the SEC has NBA caliber talent.
Yeah.
They're going to struggle. This is not This is not the best plan, I don't think. It
No.
seems at this point as if he's doing it just to do it because he's like, oh, this is legal now. I'm just going to go get all these 23-year-old Europeans or RJ Lewis, who's coming back from trying to come back from having a two-way deal with the Celtics last year. He's bad for the sport. And I think part of being in the coaching profession is you have to look out for the sport that you're coaching in.
We agree with each other 100%.
Awesome.
And real quick, I do want to make a note is that all these players that he's signing, there's a great chance, I want to say 95%, almost to 97% chance that they're not eligible. So what do you do? Like, who else?
Well, most of them are. Most of them are just European dudes. European dudes are eligible.
That's just wild to me because it's more competitive than the G League.
Yeah, Illinois' whole roster last year was European dudes.
Right.
The one is RJ Lewis is not going to be eligible. There's no chance he's eligible. It's just a PR thing to get this guy to commit and cause a stir, which is all he seems to be trying to do is cause a stir. The other guys are all going to be eligible because they're like the kid from Baylor last year, James Najee. Yeah. They didn't go to college, decide to go pro, and now are trying to come back to college. That is what is against NCAA rules. If you played pro elsewhere, even if you were on a two-way contract in the NBA, maybe you got drafted, you're a French student, you get drafted, whatever, and you're on a two-way, that is legal. They're going to play. They're not going to be good, though. James Najee came back, played for Baylor this year. Non-factor. Dude sucked. He couldn't keep up with the talent in college basketball. College basketball is the second best league in the world. So taking these do you disagree?
I think EuroLeague is up there.
No, dude. Look at the top four. Look at the top 30 picks in the NBA draft this year. You put those 30 dudes up against any team in Europe.
The best players in the NBA, David.
I know. That's what that's what makes. Yes, some of the best players in the NBA started in college,
but some of them came from the EuroLeague.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about how the American dudes don't win. You only have one guy that you can think of that came from the EuroLeague.
He's pretty dang good. Top 5.
He is.
Jokic.
Oh wait, Jokic didn't come from the EuroLeague.
No, he didn't.
Well, he may. I don't know that he did. Wemby.
I don't know. Maybe.
Wemby came from.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of too.
But college basketball is the second best league on the planet. And
either way, they're both very good.
It was proven. It was proven last year, and that Najee couldn't keep up.
No, I'm with you. I disagree, but
the SEC is voted. These dudes are going to get run off the court by Florida. Florida's going to be stacked this year.
Yes, they will be.
And LSU's going to have a bunch of 24-year-old dudes from France and Turkey playing on their team.
You know what we need? We need more Brendan Sorsby's, but not betting. That's what we need.
Yeah, just trying to connect with the boys.
Just trying to connect with the dang boys. You know what happened too? So the judge that was appointed to that with Sorsby's case suing the NCAA, he graduated from Tech twice. So the bachelor's, master's, law school, and all that jazz, right? Got it from Tech. And he had to basically dismiss himself from the case. So that way he was not brought to it. And now the new judge that is on that case, David, Baylor and A&M grad. No way that it's happening now. It's done.
Yeah, it seemed like all these guys were trying to get alums to hear their cases. The same thing happened with the Charles Bediako last year.
Yeah.
Originally, it was an Alabama grad, and then they were like, "We can't have this," so they got rid of him, and he was ruled ineligible. Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, we both know what's probably going to happen with Sorsby. So,
yeah, supplemental draft for the NFL's in a month, I think, month and a half.
You know, David, I got season tickets too. One of the main reasons was so I could see Brendan Sorsby, and now I can't even watch him. So
they picked the wrong guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah, they did. That is tough.
They'll still be good. Big 12 sucks. They'll be all right.
Yeah. Will they win it, though?
Yeah. Hey, we got to get college football shows firing up here soon. We'll start talking about that.
I know. We actually need to dive into conference previews and things like that.
That's
so,
right.
anyway, appreciate you guys tuning in, watching, listening. Everything on the Hoosier Homer Hour. Please check out our reels on Instagram. Give us a follow on Instagram, 5LF Podcast on everything but YouTube, 5 Arms and Lucky Fin on YouTube. Also, give us a 5-star review on Spotify. It would mean the world to us. We love your guys' support. Comment. Always appreciate your feedback. We will see you in the next one. Peace.